My name is Josephine Nduta. I'm mother of 2 girls, 25-year-old and a 15-year-old. The 15-year-old is a special one. At first I didn't know because I noticed something was wrong with me in around 2019. I started slowing down, like my body was slowing down, my muscles were getting weak. I started noticing when I walk, I'm dragging my foot, one foot, the right one, I think the right one. And then I was not walking. I was doing what they call it a shuffling gait, and I was walking very, very slowly, very slowly. And I noticed that the simplest chores I could not do, like cooking, kosha vyombo, those kind of things, even washing clothes, even just the simplest things you can think of, the house chores. At least I was not being able to do them. Even brushing teeth was a problem because my head could not move. And I went to the hospital and they told me it's a pinched nerve. So they recommended physiotherapy, which I did for 3 years with nothing, but I was getting worse. I used to go there for therapies. Then when COVID struck, I had to engage a therapist to come here home and please help me with that. And eventually I think God has a way of doing his own things, because some friends of mine we were with in high school came to visit my daughter, and they came and found me in a very bad condition. So they took it upon themselves to see what they can do to help me. They took me to hospital. We did all the tests. Is it okay to mention the name of the hospital? Went to Jalaram.
Yeah, it is okay.
They did all the tests, but nothing was being seen like it's wrong. So the doctor there, a very nice young lady, she told me, Josephine, I'm not going to take your money for nothing. You have to see a neurologist, because this thing is neurological. So we went to Kenyatta. We got a neurologist that is now 2022.
Yeah. And
that's when he diagnosed me with Parkinson's. He started me on medication right away. I knew about it because I had like Muhammad Ali had Parkinson's, and this preacher was called a certain evangelist who is very famous. And I'll tell you the name. So he also had Parkinson's at his old age. You know, Parkinson's, I thought it affects only old people, like 70s and above. I was shocked to realize that even young people are getting it.
The pastor, is he Lee Powell?
No.
Okay.
This one who was I don't know, am I forgetting it?
Oh, Billy Graham?
Billy Graham, yeah.
Okay.
Billy Graham, yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. In him he had Parkinson's. So I had heard about it. I never thought that it could happen to me like at this age and all that.
Yeah. So how has it changed your life since ujue uko nayo?
In a big way. In a big way. Because now, first and foremost, I had to adjust. I was a caregiver, now I need caregiving. You see?
Yeah.
So I know I used to employ. Okay, I just get people to just wash clothes, clean the house, and all that. But other things I could do them myself. No, I cannot. At all, I could not, like, there's a time I could change the diaper with half an hour. Just the diaper only.
Yeah.
Half an hour. You see? And social life, it's cut off. Kabisa, you can't. People think that I'm just like either in a ring or money, but can't, because people are asking what is wrong with you, and then the stairs and all that. Then the saying of they are under a curse or something like that. So you find yourself now, you say, chatika nikaa pata mtoto wangu. Like that. And then I'm talking, when I take this medicine, it makes my tongue heavy.
Yeah.
So you hear I'm talking like that. That's not the way I used to talk. And even I'm lucky that my voice is still there. There are some people who are like that. I think his voice is also, whereby I feel like I hear like I'm shouting, but usikii vile nasema.
Where haitoki.
You have to when someone is just telling you what. Yeah.
Okay. In terms of medication, like, is it a lot?
Expensive. The medication is expensive. I wish the government can do something to at least make them a little bit cheaper. Very expensive.
Okay. And are these medication covered on SHA? Do you use your SHA to buy them?
No.
They're not covered. Okay. Now realizing you have this disease, how has it been with family and close friends?
Well, most of them don't even know I have Parkinson's. They are not aware of anything like that, but only a few. A few know what I'm going through. Even my daughter, I had to break it to her just recently when she came back from Dubai in August. And I told her exactly what I'm suffering from. And I thought she would be scared, but she just took it. I think she just wanted to show me she's strong. I told her it's something, it's degenerative, lakini haimalizi mtu haraka. Or no, we are still trusting God that there will be a cure, or there will be something that can be done to help the patients live longer and productive lives. And okay, family has been supportive. I can't say wameniachilia sana. They would check on me. They would like now they decided they'll be coming to see my daughter. I told you they have a special child. They would come and buy her diapers and all that, just to make sure that at least I have some money for my medication. So I'm really appreciative. Yeah. I mean, I joined the Parkinson support group in Nairobi. It has been of help, sana. And it is because at least when you meet with them, you talk and you share, you do some activities together, you feel you're not alone. Feel it is not just Africans peke. You have whites, you have Indians, you have Kenyans who are all diverse tribes there.
Mentally, how do you keep sane?
Immerse myself in the Word of God. Yeah.
Okay.
It has really strengthened me. And I can say that God has been faithful. So I also at least entertain myself with the TV and all that, just to keep my mind off that. I try also to renew my thinking. I don't know, what can I say? To remove the fear from my mind. I can have more faith, knowing that God has a plan. And He told us He has good plans for us, to give us a hope and a future. Not evil plans, but good plans. So even this one, I think it has a purpose. I know there's something God wants me to teach people. I'm allowed people to learn through me about His power and His grace and His faithfulness. So I just take it with that word, and strengthens me sana.
Okay. Do you think there's enough awareness about the disease in the country?
No, like when I started this community of us, it's zero. I don't know anything like that. So it's like I can imagine in other places it's not like that. They don't know anything, and I've not started to explain to people. Okay, I've started kidogo like with family to explain to them what this is, but sijendo ko nje. So I first have to start with family so that they can understand what is this I'm going through. I remember there's a time I had to laugh. I can say she's my granddaughter because the mother is my niece. So she stopped on me and asked me. Instead of calling me Nduta, she called me Auntie Nduta. Auntie Nduta, can I ask you something? She's a small girl, a very lovely girl. Let me ask you something. I asked her, ask kabisa. She told me, why do you walk so slowly? I tried to tell her, now I have a problem with something called nerves in the body.
Really?
And that is what makes me walk so slowly. I said, okay, I'll pray for you.
Oh.
I'm so touched. I'm so touched, Aki. Okay?
Yeah.
So a child is like that.
Oh, yeah.
And she's been looking at me and wondering, oh, why does this child of mine walk so slowly?
So I'm Dr. Juzar Hooker. I'm a consulting neurologist at the Aga Khan University Hospital in Nairobi, and my special area of interest is in movement disorders. So Parkinson's disease is an interesting movement disorder because it has too much movement, shaking, and at the same time too little movement, the inability to walk normally. People get slowed in their movement, in their walking, in their talking, softer in their speech, and they become more stiff in terms of their body, in terms of their movement. And together with that, they tend to lose balance, especially as the disease progresses. So I think you asked a very interesting question about what happens to the brain in people with Parkinson's disease. And really what we know is that there is a progressive loss of brain cells, especially in certain parts of the brain, deep inside the brain, where there are melanin-containing, meaning pigment-containing brain cells. And these cells produce a lot of dopamine in the brain, which then projects to other parts of the brain. This loss of brain cells is progressive, and it is thought now that probably the loss of brain cells starts perhaps as much as 20 years before the disease manifests, very, very slowly. And obviously we have a large reserve capacity in our brains and our bodies. So initially we have no symptoms, but when the brain cells reduce to a critical mass, then we start getting symptoms. And also now, because we have families with genetic Parkinson's disease, people can look at those families. We know that they have the gene, but they don't have the disease, and see what symptoms they may develop. So those kinds of studies have revealed certain important symptoms. One is loss of sense of smell. So obviously, like people get COVID, they lose their sense of smell, then it comes back. That's not an issue. Yeah. But like loss of sense of smell years even before they get the disease. Mm-hmm. There is a particular type of sleep disorder, which we call dream enactment disorder. When we are normally dreaming, the way we have been created, we kind of get paralyzed during our dream phase of sleep, meaning we cannot move except for the eyes. And so we can't act out our dream. So even if you're thinking that you are fighting somebody, you can't fight anybody while you're dreaming. But in this condition, that switches off our ability to move is spoiled. And then we tend to move, and it's like we're acting out our dreams in our sleep without us knowing. So it's only the bed partner, spouse, they would know what's going on. So the other important kind of common symptom in this patient is constipation. But as you know, constipation is a very common symptom in the population, so you can't really say that everybody who gets constipation, but it is more common in people who develop Parkinson's disease. Okay. Yeah. So Parkinson's disease is still a very clinical diagnosis. As soon as a person walks into the office, indeed sometimes even when they are in the waiting room, you can already make a diagnosis as they walk in. Because they often have this particular, slightly stooped posture, difficulty moving, slowness of movement, shaking, like I said, stiffness, and a certain loss of balance. or inability to maintain balance. That is how we make a diagnosis, really, putting those symptoms together. But in terms of making a clear neurological diagnosis, it's quite a process. You listen to the story, you examine the patient, you try and look for other things that it could be. And where there is doubt, there is role for, imaging the brain, for example, with an MRI scan, or sometimes even a CT scan, and with specialized type of scanning, which we now have available here in Aga Khan, which is called a dopamine transporter SPECT scan or DAT scan. So these are supportive, but at the end of the day, it's a clinical diagnosis, helping the symptoms, and also may have a place in slowing down the progression of the disease. Together with that, things like speech therapy, occupational therapy, psychological support, social support. But as you know, all these things are very sparse in our country. So, for example, we have just a handful of speech therapists, very few physiotherapists who have experience with Parkinson's disease, very, very few occupational therapists, and as you know, our social support architecture is really very, very sparse on the ground. Psychological support is also limited. So Parkinson's disease is nobody's fault. So when one gets Parkinson's disease, it's not because you've done something wrong or somebody else has done something wrong to you. It can happen to anybody. As you know, we'd have popes and presidents and, with Parkinson's disease, and they have worked and they have lived their lives and they've contributed to society. And just because somebody has Parkinson's disease doesn't mean that contribution stops. As you know, the late Pope John Paul II, he had Parkinson's disease and continued to work for years until his demise. Yeah. So, and he contributed to society. So the fact that one has Parkinson's disease should not detract from that person's worth. And really, we should do everything as a community, medical professionals, families, communities, everybody, to try and make people feel wanted, and to enable them to continue to contribute to society in the best possible way they can.
Okay.
Thank you.